The first quote-unquote open-world Star Wars game is upon us in the form of Star Wars Outlaws. I've played hours upon hours of this game, and I still feel like there's so much more lore, Easter eggs, references, and even interesting development facts that can't be covered in just one of these videos. Regardless about how you feel about the game, we are here with 107 facts about Star Wars Outlaws. Let's get started. Number 1, starting off with the most basic of facts, Star Wars Outlaws was developed by Massive Entertainment, a video game developer under Ubisoft. They have a history of developing open-world games with recent games such as The Division 2, and Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Outlaws continues the trend, and their DNA can be felt throughout this game. Number 2, in Star Wars Outlaws, you play as Kay Vess, a thief from the Workers' District in Canto Bight on the planet of Cantonica. Number 3, Outlaws is confirmed to take place between the events of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It was actually a suggestion by Lucasfilm's Games to Massive Entertainment that it would be a perfect era to set the game.
Lucasfilm Games suggested that the perfect era to set Outlaws would be between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Number 4, according to the team, this was the perfect time in the timeline because this was when the Galactic Civil War was at its peak, and it was a natural environment for Outlaws to thrive.
What's great about that point on the timeline is this is a moment where the Civil War between the Empire and the Rebellion is at its height.
Number 5, when crafting the worlds in Star Wars Outlaws, the team sought not only to recreate the worlds that fans know and love, but to create new points of interest within those worlds while still following already established history.
A new location that we collaborated with Massive Entertainment on called Toshara.
Number 6, Massive Entertainment sought to mimic the look and feel of the films, particularly Empire. You can see this when utilizing the cinematic mode, which gives the game the aesthetic of the films. The team was able to create a custom lens within the game engine that replicates the look of the lenses used when filming those Star Wars films in the 70s and 80s. The cinematic mode also adds film grain, barrel distortion, chromatic aberration, and vignetting, all wrapped up in an ultra widescreen presentation. Number 7, Outlaws takes place concurrently with the events of the Crimson Reign storyline from the comics, and, as such, elements from that storyline are included in Outlaws. Number 8, criminal syndicates play a key part in Outlaws' gameplay and story. The game utilizes a reputation system for its key syndicates, and depending on missions and tasks that Kay completes, her reputation fluctuates among the different syndicates. Number 9, the level of reputation Kay has comes with its own sets of pros and cons. If her level is high enough, Kay can have access to discounts, be able to freely go in and out of a district and territories of that syndicate, and have access to exclusive missions. However, if Kay's reputation is low among the syndicates, they can prove to be an obstacle in Kay's everyday life. Number 10, among the countless syndicates found in the Star Wars universe, only a handful are important to the reputation system in Outlaws. The first of these syndicates is Crimson Dawn, led by Kira. Number 11, in-game, the Dawn are known to be incredibly evasive, usually avoiding direct confrontation with their rivals in favor of scheming, espionage, and assassinations. Number 12, the designs for the Dawn's members take inspiration from the Hyloban Enforcers, Dryden Voss's bodyguards in Solo. While there certainly still are Enforcers clad in black and gold in their ranks, some of their members take on crimson-colored garb. Number 13, Lady Kira is in Outlaws with a character model that sort of resembles Emilia Clarke. However, Emilia Clarke doesn't reprise her role as Kira in the game. Instead, actress Tamarin Payne provides the voice of Kira. Number 14, the Pike Syndicate make an appearance in Outlaws. The Pikes in Outlaws are led by the criminal underboss Gorak Palace, who's situated on the planet of Toshara, where he's made the Pikes the most powerful crime syndicate in the system. Number 15, speaking of Gorak, early on in the game, Nyx helps Kay steal a ring from Gorak. You can actually sell the ring as valuable, but the game gives a hint that you might be able to use it in the future. In a later mission, you're given the choice to give it back to Gorak when prompted. Thankfully, if you decided to sell the ring before this, confrontation, it won't change the outcome of the conversation because Gorak says that Kay is lucky they need her. Number 16, you can't include the other two syndicates without including one of the most famous, or rather infamous syndicates, the Hutt Cartel. The Hutts in Outlaws are led by the one and only Jabba the Hutt. Number 17, Jabba attained his position during the War of the Bounty Hunters, which is referenced in the lore tab. Due to a little scuttle with the Empire, Vader killed the Hutt Council, leaving Jabba as the only one alive, making him the single most powerful crime lord within the cartel. Number 18, the Hutts in-game, similar to their on-screen counterparts, are made up of a mix of Weequay, Gamorreans, humans, amongst other species. Number 19. Outside of the key syndicates of the game, there are several other factions that appear as well, such as the Sixth Kin, a criminal organization operating out of Canto Bight, Zarek Besh, a fairly new syndicate led by Sliro Rubak, the Imperials, and the Rebel Alliance. Number 20. Zarek Besh had actually been in the Crimson Reign and Hidden Empire storylines, but Outlaws puts them in the forefront as a truly antagonistic force towards K-Vess. Number 21. In those comic book appearances, a silhouette of the Zarek Besh leader, who we now know is Sliro, can be seen. Number 22. Canto Bight is where the game starts off, and is expanded upon since its appearance in The Last Jedi. Both Sixth Kin and Zarek Besh call this planet home, with the former situated in the South Stretch Workers District, and the latter centered around Westhill Palace, Sliro's residence. Number 23. During a later mission in the game, Kay finds herself in the Crescent Royal Casino. Fans may recognize this casino as the same one that Finn, Rose, and BB-8 visited while trying to find the Master Codebreaker in The Last Jedi. Number 24. The first location Kay visits outside of her home planet of Cantonica is Toshara, which is a new location Lucasfilm and Massive Entertainment collaborated on to create for Star Wars Outlaws. Number 25. Toshara was built up with what the team says is, quote, the scoundrel fantasy at its beating heart, which basically means that it was built as a playground for outlaws. Number 26. According to the game's description, Toshara is a savanna moon shaped by strong winds. It was once a home to reclusive Tosharan people, but has since become a hotbed of corruption ruled by crooked Imperials and criminal syndicates locked in a gang war. Number 27. For the aesthetics of Toshara, the team took inspiration from the African savanna, but with additional alien elements to make it feel more Star Wars, you know? Number 28. The ever-present wind plays a big part into the feel of Toshara, as you can see with how several aspects of the moon are affected by the wind, such as the carved veins of amberine, how the locals utilize wind in their farming, and even by the locals' clothing. Number 29. The largest city on Toshara is Mirogana. The city was used by Tosharans as a shield for the harsh winds on Toshara. Number 30. Toshara is home to a crashed High Republic cruiser called the Castellan, which crashed due to an attack from the Nile all those many years ago in the High Republic era. It has since become the destination for scavengers looking for valuables amongst the wreckage. Number 31. Arabesh text on the walls of the Castellan wreckage spell the name SS Astrid. However, it seems as though a change was made during development, with the cruiser being named the Castellan in the final release of the game. Number 32. You can view a distorted hologram on the bridge of the ship that shows that the ship is a Purgle-class starcruiser. This is the same model of cruiser used in Galactic Starliner in Galaxy's Edge at Disney. Number 33. Moving on, we have our next planet, Kijimi, which was a throwaway planet in The Rise of Skywalker. Literally, it gets used as a location for one quick bit in the film and is blown up just as quickly. Luckily, the planet is revisited in Outlaws, and we get to see in detail different facets of Kijimi City not seen in the films. Number 34. For Outlaws, the team at Massive Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games created an entirely new criminal syndicate, the Ashiga Clan. Number 35. The planet doesn't have a centralized government. That's where the Ashiga clan come in, as the crime syndicate is said to hold immense influence on the planet's population and resources. Number 36. The Ashiga clan are situated on Kijimi and have been for a while. According to an ISB report you can collect in-game, Queen Ashiga established the clan on Kijimi during the High Republic era. Number 37. Queen Ashiga seems to just be a title, as the ISB report also states that it's difficult to verify her identity and age due to the queen being part of a long line of succession. Number 38. Upon arriving to Kijimi City, the syndicate will be added to your reputation tab, upping the grand total of Kay's relationship to crime syndicates to 4. Number 39. The Ashiga clan are a clan, or rather a hive, of Melito, an insect-like humanoid species. Number 40. The Ashiga clan follow a strict hierarchy, putting the hive's well-being above their own. They're described as being run like an anthill. Number 41. Kijimi is a very Japanese-inspired location, and its aesthetics extend to the Ashiga clan, whose members wear garb inspired by kimono. Number 42. Since the Melito species is blind, a lot of the aspects of the Ashiga lean away from color and light and more towards textures and sound. This can be seen in the Ashiga clan's districts, where they've embedded metallic pieces on the floor to feel where they're going. This also applies to their weapons, and upon closer inspection, you can see that their weapons include tactile designs.
The Melito, they're blind. So they favor textures and sound over color and light.
Number 43. Kijimi is a wellspring of history, as the Daibendu, a religious group considered to be precursors to the Jedi, established a monastery on the planet. The monastery is now used as the Ashiga clan stronghold. A common claim is that whoever holds the monastery holds control of the city, which is why the Ashiga are in charge. Number 44. One of the most prominent creatures on Kijimi is the Henku. First appearing in Outlaws, these mammals are thought to share a common ancestry with Bantha, which I'm sure most Star Wars fans are familiar with. Number 45. Our next planet is the hot and humid Akiva. The main city of Mira was a holdout for the CIS, and bits and pieces of the Clone Wars can be found throughout the city and surrounding locations. Number 46. Akiva has been featured in other Star Wars media, but Outlaws is the first on-screen appearance, or as other people put it, its visual debut. Number 47. The game brings us back to the Clone Wars days and allows us to visit a droid factory, reminiscent of the one we see in Attack of the Clones on the planet of Geonosis. Number 48. Bits and pieces of the past can be found in Akiva's orbit as well, with Acra Station being an old Trade Federation supply station. It now acts as a trade hub for smugglers and black market merchants. Number 49. The BX droid MT7, which is different from ND5, can be found on Akiva. Still believing that the Clone Wars was still going on. MT7 is the veteran expert, and when looking at the expert skills, you'll notice that a set of 3 skills are called Improvise, Adapt, Overcome. This is a reference to the unofficial slogan for the US Marines. Number 50. If you've ever wondered what Lando was up to between Empire and Return of the Jedi, well, Outlaws has a bit of an answer. Lando makes an appearance on the planet of Akiva and can be brought on as the High Roller expert after completing a set of missions for him. Number 51. Despite Lando making an in-game appearance, neither Billy D. Williams, Lando's original actor, nor Donald Glover, who played Lando in Solo, voiced Lando in Outlaws. That role instead goes to actor Lindsay Owen Pierre. Number 52. Star Wars Expanded Universe and sequel trilogy fans may recognize the name of a certain Temmin Wexley, otherwise known as Snap, who makes an appearance as a young store owner who assists K-Vest several times while she's on Akiva. Number 53. Asara, one of the rebel fighters K meets, reveals that his sister Callus was part of the Battle of Scarif, which led to him becoming a rebel himself. K mentions that she's never heard of the battle, meaning that the Empire worked overtime to bury the evidence. Number 54. The last planet we'll be able to visit is good old Tatooine, where everything started. And why not go to one of the most famous sites on Tatooine? Upon landing on Tatooine, not too far south, you can visit the Lars homestead, the home of Luke Skywalker, and the site where Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru were burned alive. Number 55. In the remains of the Lars homestead, you can actually spot R5-D4 inside the main building, buried amongst the sand and rubble. Number 56. In A New Hope, you can see Luke playing with a model of a T-16 Skyhopper. Well, in the Lars homestead, you can find a data pad to read requests for replacement parts for the toy. It even references events in the Kenobi series by saying that the toy was given to Luke by an old family friend, that old friend being Obi-Wan Kenobi. Number 57. Right by the Lars homestead, you can visit Tashi Station, which was originally featured in A New Hope's deleted scene where Luke meets up with Biggs. Number 58. At Tashi Station, there's a datapad as well from Cammy addressed to Lays, the love of her life. These two characters were also featured in the same deleted scene mentioned above. It's nice seeing these small details pulling in moments from the original trilogy. It makes the world feel connected and bigger than it is. Number 59. In one particular mission, Kay has to break into Jabba's palace. While snooping around the palace, you'll spot a familiar bounty hunter, Boba Fett. Number 60. In addition to Boba Fett, another familiar sight shows up in the form of Han Solo stuck inside carbonite. Number 61. After this mission, if you try to enter Jabba's palace, chances are the gatekeeper droid will shoo you away. This is because you can't enter Jabba's palace unless you have excellent reputation with the Hutts. Number 62. Upon gaining access to Jabba's palace again, if you loiter around Han's slab of carbonite, one of the Hutt enforcers will give you, grisly details of being frozen in one. To put things short, cells are frozen in stasis, and when being unfrozen, not everyone is as lucky as Han Solo. Number 63. When you visit the cantina in Mos Eisley, you might spot a burn mark on the wall right above a pair of seats at a certain booth. This spot is where Greedo's blaster hit when he attempted to shoot Han in A New Hope. Number 64. Another cool detail about the booth where Han and Greedo had their little altercation, if you hover around it long enough, NPCs will start talking about it as if the booth was haunted. or cursed. Number 65. When landing in Mos Eisley, the Trailblazer, which is Kay's ship, will land in Docking Bay 94, the same docking bay the Millennium Falcon was docked in A New Hope. Number 66. If you eavesdrop on some of the NPCs in Mos Eisley, you'll run into one that seemingly loves sand, referencing how Anakin doesn't like sand at all. Number 67. On a cliff overlooking the Dune Sea, you can spot a speeder that looks an awful lot like the one driven by a young Han Solo in the opening sequence for Solo, a Star Wars story. Number 68. Right by the Western Dune Sea, you can run into a Jawa named Tika, who will eventually be the expert known as the Hot Fixer. Tika is the same Jawa who traded with Obi-Wan in his cave in the Kenobi Disney Plus series. Number 69. Tatooine's Dune Sea contains some of the planet's most dangerous creatures. There's a dead Sarlacc pit, which can be explored in a mission for some Jawas, but even more dangerous is the very much alive Krayt Dragon that will chase you around as you explore. Number 70. Other details that you can spot in the Dune Sea is a Crash Pod Racer, a vehicle used for the ever so popular sport of pod racing. Some online claim this belongs to Sebulba due to how big the engines are, but it looks nothing like it to me. Number 71. The settlement of Wayfar is a new addition to Tatooine, making its first appearance in Outlaws. It's watched over by Sheriff Quint, who also becomes the gunslinger expert for Kay. Number 72. Speaking of Kay Vess, Kay Vess is played by Umberly Gonzalez, who has also played a role in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which I had just mentioned earlier is another game developed by Massive Entertainment. Number 73. When developing Kay, the team wanted to convey her as being a rookie scoundrel to make her a relatable character, despite the high stakes of the storyline. Number 74. Kay is fluent in both Galactic Basic Standard and Huttese. You can see how important being bilingual is in allowing her to talk her way out of many situations. Number 75. Kay Vess's little companion is Nyx. Nyx is a Merkal, a rare species in the Star Wars universe. Number 76. Nyx gives Kay the ability to do things she could never do on her own, such as sense presences that are around, traverse tiny little crevices to get to hard-to-reach places, among other extensions to Kay's actions. Distracting, attacking, stealing, you name it. Number 77. Nyx is from an unnamed jungle planet, which meant the team had to give him a tough side, for survival of course. The team took inspiration from pangolins when crafting together Nyx. Number 78. When developing Star Wars Outlaws, the team at Massive and Lucasfilms Games wanted to create the feeling of stepping into Star Wars. This meant that they took inspiration from old Macquarie concepts, Joe Johnston's storyboards, and Phil Tippett's creature designs to craft their galaxy. Number 79. Despite being a little creature, Nyx does have a voice actor responsible for the cute little noises he makes. D. Bradley Baker, who you might recall is the voice actor for the Clone Troopers in the Clone Wars, voices Nyx. Number 80. D. Bradley Baker took inspiration from his dog Zira when providing the voice and sound work for Nyx.
And in a lot of cases, it's less is more. That tracks back to my dog Zira. I think I drew upon her as inspiration for the tone of Nyx.
Number 81. The team's pets were also huge inspiration for Nyx's movement and animations. Number 82. Because Nyx isn't a real animal, the team at Massive used a puppet during the performance work for Nyx and other characters. It helped in conveying Kay's unspoken emotions. Number 83. A fun little animation Easter egg happens if you aim your blaster at Nyx. Aim it long enough and Nyx will start to play dead. Number 84. For most of the game, Kay uses a VM-19 heavy blaster, which makes its very first appearance in Outlaws. The VM-19 is able to switch modules during combat, giving Kay versatility in battle by allowing her to use plasma, ion, and power shots. Number 85. The VM-19 blaster also has an alternate fire mode in the form of a stun shot. Finally, I can say set for stun and actually do it. Number 86. A key member of Kay's crew is ND5, a BX commando droid working as an enforcer for an individual named Jalen Vrax, who is the person who offered Kay a job. Number 87. ND5 is portrayed by Jay Rincon both in voice and performance. Number 88. Han Solo has his Millennium Falcon, Cal Kestis has the Mantis, and Kay Vess, well, she has the Trailblazer, an EML 850 light freighter designed during the Republic era. Number 89. The Trailblazer is highly customizable from appearance to upgrades that make the ship more capable in battle. Number 90. Kay Vess also uses a S57 Cardinal speeder bike, which is also new to Star Wars and makes its debut in Outlaws. Number 91. Just like the Trailblazer, the speeder bike is highly customizable and upgradable to make it more capable for traversal console. Number 92. Being an open world game, Star Wars Outlaws gives Kay several activities and minigames to do while traversing the open world. One such minigame is Raven 6, an arcade shooter where you take control of a ship and fly through space in first person, blasting down other ships and asteroids headed your direction. Let me know your high score in the comments. Number 93. Raven 6 seems to be a reference to Atari's Star Wars game from 1983, borrowing several elements and even the vector aesthetic from the arcade game. Number 94. Like many games nowadays, a card game minigame is included in the form of Sabacc. Sabacc is a popular card game within the Star Wars universe, and the variant found in Outlaws, called Kessel Sabacc, is very much the same. Number 95. At street food vendors on each planet, you can sample the local cuisine in the form of a minigame. These minigames also result in Nyx treats, items that give Nyx abilities that help Kay. Number 96. On Tashara, found in Mirogana's market district, locals can enjoy a dish called the Che Mosca. It's a slow-grilled sweet mosca on the cob, kinda like corn on the cob, served with mashed daiko root and jarrah peppers. Che Mosca gives Nyx the ability to kick away grenades thrown at Kay. Number 97. Found in Kijimi City's Kijimiko Square is Duridan soup. It's a fisherfolk broth with sweet algae and larvae simmered in mineral water, served with Chakino eel. This dish and Nyx treat allows Nyx to distract multiple enemies at a time, with the con being that the range for distracting is reduced. Number 98. Corrado fruit is one of Akiva's local dishes, and the vendor can be found in the city of Mira, in Satrap's Promenade. The dish gives another boost to Nyx's distraction ability, and allows Nyx to distract enemies for longer. Number 99. Lastly, there's Sketo Chuga, local to Tatooine. It's fried Sketo meatballs and chuga fruit on a skewer, and it's served with pickled legume puree and hot kanki spices. The vendor for this dish can be found in the Mos Eisley Bazaar, and the dish gives Nyx the ability to make enemies wreak havoc, meaning that they shoot their blasters in all directions. Number 100. The Sabacc shark outfit that Kay can obtain is a near one-to-one copy of Lando's outfit. All it's missing is a long cape. Number 101. Opposite the Sabacc shark outfit is the Kessel Runner outfit, which is modeled after Han Solo's outfit, except now it's fit for Kay. This outfit was a pre-order bonus. Number 102. There are a lot of creatures in Star Wars Outlaws, some friendly and some not so friendly. Thankfully, you can pet several of the friendly creatures, however, Nyx might get a little jealous whenever you do. Number 103. Weather actually affects Kay's in-game model, with Kay sweating in locations with hotter climates like Tatooine, while her clothes get covered in snow like on Kijimi. Number 104. Holodramas are a type of collectible in-game. They're short audio files played with a filter that mimics old radio shows. Number 105. While searching around caches throughout the game, some may include a familiar pairing, a protocol droid, and an R2 unit. No, these aren't C-3PO and R2-D2, but it's definitely referencing them. Number 106. The Mercenary Expert skill includes a pair called Can I Try That? And I Like This Thing. This references Han Solo's scene in The Force Awakens where he asks Chewbacca if he can try out his bowcaster and immediately likes it. Number 107. Outlaws will be receiving additional story packs. The first of these will arrive in fall of 2024 and will involve Kay-Vess, Lando, and a Sabacc tournament. The second of these story packs, arriving in spring 2025, brings the notorious pirate Hondo Ohnaka into the world of Outlaws. Star Wars fans will recognize Ohnaka from various forms of Star Wars media, but most will probably recognize the name from Clone Wars. That's just me assuming. And that's it for 107 facts about Star Wars Outlaws. Have you played the game yet? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. And as I said in the intro, there's so much that couldn't be covered in this video. So let us know if you want us to do another, or if not, let us know what games you want us to cover next. This has been the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.